So Angel Reese, Chicago Sky's own, made a bold threat or proclamation, if you will, that if the WNBA players don't get what they want, meaning pay raises, incentives, such and such, there's a good chance they may sit out this upcoming season. Yes, that is right. The WNBA players may strike this season. They opted out of their collective bargaining agreement, and now they're looking for a new deal, which the women feel like they need to be paid more. A brief background, real quick, if you will. The WNBA, their first season was played in 97. There are 13 teams with two more coming in 2026 right now. They play 44 regular season games, and the women are getting better every year. They
Hmm.
really are. However, since the inaugural season in 97, the WNBA has lost on an average $10 million per season, totaling at least 280 million in total lost revenue. So actually a little bit more than 10 million per season, but yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
So you have a couple years here, a couple years there. This team generates a positive revenue, and same thing happens. A couple teams here, and this year set. But overall, as a whole, there's never been a season that didn't result in the NBA owing millions to cover those losses.
Right.
2024 was actually a breakout year for the WNBA with Caitlin
Caitlin
Clark.
Clark. Hmm.
Clarkonomics is what they call it because she's box office. Angel Reese, box office. Attractions like this, they have more viewers, more attendees, and the attendees are actually up 48% since or from the 2023 season. So that's a major improvement, man. Increased ticket sales, expansion fees, renegotiated media rights deal, new sponsors and partnerships. All of that shit is popping for them in 2024.
Believe it.
But again, with this 2024 year, the NBA is expected to lose $50 million this season. With
Really.
all of that, that's bad.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. So the problem here, and I looked into this a lot, man, this is almost a war you can't win because since its existence in 97, like I mentioned, they've lost so much money because they can't generate like positive revenue, right? So they're
The
basically
attendance gonna be lower. Everything's gonna be lower.
right. But even now this year when it went up, it's even when you start to do good, every dollar that the WNBA collects, whether it's you pay for a t-shirt, a ticket, anything, that total amount, they only get to keep 40% of that. The other 60% goes to the NBA for the losses and it goes to sponsors.
Hmm.
So they only get to keep 40% of every dollar they make, the
Right.
league. So that's distributed, in salaries and just anything else.
Hmm.
And
Everything.
so that's why I say it's almost a war you can't win. It's like a country being in debt, you
Right.
know. Don't want to get political, but that's it. That's it's the same sense. That's what it is.
Hmm.
So now they got to find a better way to generate more revenue and keep fighting the good fight, man. What you think is going to come to a strike? How you feeling about this?
Bro, I just feel like the women's game is just getting stronger and stronger because when you get Juju
It is.
Watkins out here, man, she gonna be box office. She gonna be bigger than Caitlin Clark and freaking AJ Wilson and freaking everybody else, bro. Because she is a monster out there. Just a lot of little things, whatever they need to tweak up on that stuff. But I don't know if they have the time to do that stuff. Women's sports is always going to be lower than men's sports, especially in basketball. It's just not the theatrical dunks, and it's just a lot of things or whatever that's just going to be a little bit lower tier. I feel like it's a great product, but like I say, it's all about the advertisement and the marketing of this brand, and I don't think they got that stuff down yet. So maybe, but if they adding teams, it got to be something that they got going on, you know?
They got to see some upside somewhere.
Hmm.
If you're getting the nod and the approval to go ahead and add two more teams, and the faith and people who are investing in these teams, knowing that this league has always lost money, man, that you
Hmm.
got balls on you. You are hella confident that this is
Right.
going to be successful and turn around. But I think that this is something they could turn around. But I don't think it's going to be something that we live to see in our lifetime. To be honest with you, I think it'll take a lot longer than that.
Right.
I really do. It's just it's just too far of a separation. I mean, 280 million in the hole right now.
Hmm.
That's a lot, man. It's just
Right.
it really is. The average salary of a WNBA player, it's crazy the difference between it. So the minimum amount they can make is 64,000 in a season.
That's crazy.
That's nuts,
That's
bro.
crazy.
That's regular household shit, bro. I
I'm
got
about
more
to say
money
you might.
coming in
I'm
this
about to say. I'm
household.
about to say. I'm about to say you might as well work
Right.
at Amazon for real.
Man, like I got more
Playing the
money coming in
boxes.
this household for real.
Right.
And the maximum they can earn is 241,000 per season, which is what Brittany Griner earns.
Hmm.
Staying on topic, so Angel Reese, she netted 73,000 this past season. She was paid $73,000 and she claims that she can't that doesn't even pay for her rent.
Her rent.
She,
Mm-mm.
she pays monthly rent of $8,000 and that totals 96K for the year.
Hmm.
So 73 obviously is not enough to cover the 96,000. So when you look at stuff like that, and obviously she joked, but it's a serious statement when she's living
Hmm.
beyond her means because you definitely are. If
Right.
it was a standpoint from that salary alone, obviously Angel Reese is good. She has endorsements. That's where her real money
Endorsements.
comes
Hella.
from. She makes millions off of
Hmm.
endorsements. This is just bonus money. Her WNBA salary is bonus money for her lifestyle.
And bro,
So
and her NIL deal, she was like, shit, I really don't even want to go to the NBA, the WNBA or whatever, because I'm making so much doing the freaking NILs. Now she got freaking, she on every freaking podcast. She on the McDonald's. She got a McDonald's meal now. So McDonald's gets your shit. You already know what time it is. It's always a few. It's a couple picks of the litter, like the Caitlin Clarks and stuff like that. You know,
yeah, she's
it's
gonna
like
get
it's
paid
like
top when
she gonna
it's time.
like I
Mhm.
say, but like you say, as a collective, as all, for real, you're like, hey, I mean, I can get this or whatever, but what about my sister here? What about my sister here? She's playing hard or whatever. Now they have to go overseas. Now they got to do this. Now they got to work a second job trying to make ends meet or whatever.
Yeah,
And
Diana,
those and those
Diana
and those are the
Taurasi.
things.
Mhm.
Right, exactly.
She did that for 20 years. She's still
Hmm.
doing it.
Like I say,
That's what they
and
do.
those things are the tough things, or whatever. Those are the hard questions that we need answers to. So those are the things or whatever. Like injuries, whatever. Like, yeah, okay, now I'm bringing the shine, and it's popping. Hey, what are we gonna do for the fellow co-workers, for my fellow sisters that's been in this struggle, whatever, from the beginning of time? You feel me? Like we had to get to $100 million contract or whatever. With who was it? Shaq with the first $100 million contract, Chris Webber, one of those guys, whatever. That was like, man, this shit is unheard of. You feel me?
That's a good
We had to
question. I
get
don't
we had
remember.
we had to get to that point. You know, we had to get to that point sometime. And like I say, $1 million contract or something. You know what I'm saying? Get one of these ladies $1 million contract or something. AJ Wilson and won the freaking MVP 3 times. She ain't got $1 million. That's crazy to me. 3-time MVP, bro.
She's definitely a boss. So the first NBA player to sign $100 million contract was Juwan Howard when he signed with the Bullets.
105, the 105.
105. Yep,
Mm-hmm,
correct.
mm-hmm.
Juwan Howard. How about that?
Yeah,
I would have never guessed Juwan Howard.
right.
But yeah, it would be unfortunate if they do strike, but ultimately they do have to find some way that they get incentivized better than what they have been getting
Something.
because that's
Mm-hmm.
come on, man. The cost goes up in the world and everything goes up. I mean, this is ridiculous. They're professional athletes. They do have to be. I understand that they've lost revenue and all that, but so what does that mean in totality? Does that mean just do away with the entire league? It's all a wash. This and that? Obviously, there's things that you still feel are profitable about this. Business. It's a business. It's a sport, but it's a business. Everything is looked at as a business, and the business isn't doing so good. So it's not always the best ideal time to strike when you've been losing a lot of revenue. But I mean, it has happened before and it does happen sometimes. But regardless, they got to get a deal worked out or we are in serious danger of missing out on a WNBA season this season. So
Right. I
I'm
got an
gonna quick.
idea. I got an idea. So have the women games before the men's games in the same stadium. You pay a little bit extra on the tickets. You feel me? Had to sell out crowds, had to sell out. You know what I'm saying? Have the women play before the men. You feel me? Have the 5:30 game before the 8 o'clock game. You feel me? You got the whole double headers. And you feel me? Like that stuff can be a marketing plan or whatever that you don't have to use all that other revenue or whatever, all that money going out. You feel me? Having a separate night when you can have both of them. You can bring your daughters. You can bring, you know what I'm saying? Like you can bring the younger kids or whatever. get to talk to the players, the young lady players and stuff like that or whatever, and you can keep more of that money in house. You feel me? Because it's not about what's coming in, it's about what's going out. You feel me? Separate nights or whatever. Clearly
No
that
doubt.
stuff not working. You feel me? Have a couple Friday night games or whatever, had a double header or whatever, the Phoenix games or whatever, whoever Phoenix playing, and then they have the double header. You feel me? Then you play the big game. You know what I'm saying? The men's game.
That's a good idea. I never even thought to do something like that. That would be interesting. Yeah, that would definitely attract viewership. My
Mm-hmm.
thought on it was maybe they could wait and do their season when there's no basketball being played. Wait for the
Mm-hmm.
NBA offseason. Don't go around the same time. Do it when it's because there's no basketball. Fiends
Right.
who love basketball will watch it just
We'll
to
watch it.
love and enjoy the appreciate the game of basketball. That was a thought that I had, but yeah, that's another way they could go, televise or market them and have them played before NBA games because
Mm-hmm.
you could definitely, and you could even space it out a little bit better.
Right.
You don't want to give the women too much time off, but I mean, there's 82 regular NBA games in the season. They play 44. That definitely
Right.
could be accomplished. It
Mm-hmm.
could be done.
Put it in there.
Yeah, it
Definitely
could be
put it
done.
in.
Something to think about. Y'all let us know your thoughts on the process. Are we gonna see a strike this year? They need to hang it up. What's going on?